Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the prelims paper of UPSC of year 2018. We are going to discuss the geography questions that has been asked in this particular year. We'll try to understand what is the correct options, what are the correct answers, and the explanation behind. So the first question, as you can see, is related to the topic of natural vegetation. And in this particular question, a simple statement has been given that which of the following leaf modifications occurs in the desert areas to inhibit water loss. Three options are there. First is hard and waxy leaves, then we have tiny leaves, and third is thorns instead of leaves. So basically they are asking about the modification that the plants in the desert areas and arid areas undergo so that they can prevent the evapotranspiration losses or water losses. So as we can see, the desert plants, for example, the cactus, which is a very well-known desert plant, and you know that cactus do not have leaves, rather than they have thorns. So obviously we can say that the third statement that is given here is correct. Then second is hard and waxy leaves. Now this is also clear, a good modification that we see in the desert plant, because leaves are hard and waxy. What happens? They do not allow the water to evaporate easily, and that is why it is also able to inhibit the water loss. Second is tiny leaves. They have the same logic, because tiny leaves are having lower surface area, and the surface area is less. Obviously the water evaporation that happens in the summer season or in the heat sunlight, that will be very less. So obviously the correct answer for this particular question is D, that is all statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct one. The second question is related to the world map, where 4 different cities and their corresponding countries has been asked. For example, it has been asked that which of the following options are correctly matched in the given question. So if you look at the Aleppo, so Aleppo is basically a city that is situated in Syria. Aleppo was very much in news due to the civil war that has been going on for almost a decade in Syria, and also because of the attacks by IS fighters. So Aleppo obviously is in Syria. That is the correct statement. Second, you talk about Kirkuk. So Kirkuk is not in Yemen. Kirkuk actually is situated in the Iraq. If you look at, this is the map of Iraq, and as we can see that on the northeastern region of Iraq, we have a city of Kirkuk. So Kirkuk is in Iraq. That means this option is incorrect. Third is Mosul in Palestine. This is also incorrect, because if you look at again the same map, we can see the Mosul is again a city that is situated slightly to the north of Kirkuk. So Mosul is also in Iraq. Fourth is Mazar-e-Sharif. Mazar-e-Sharif is obviously in Afghanistan. And if you look at the map here, we can see this is the map of Afghanistan. Kabul is the capital city, and Mazar-e-Sharif is situated somewhere, we can say, in the northern part of Afghanistan, near border of Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. So obviously the correct answer is B. The option number 1 and 4th are correct. So that is all about this particular topic. The third question is related to the current affairs, where it has been asked that with reference to the genetically modified mustard or GM mustard that has been developed in India, consider the following statement. First is GM mustard has the genes of soil bacterium that give the plant the property of pest resistance to a wide variety of pests. So this statement is partially correct, because obviously GM mustard has the genes of soil bacterium. However, the soil bacterium has been introduced in this mustard not to provide it pest resistance property, but rather to increase the. So it is basically the soil bacterium helps in increasing the overall yield of the GM mustard. So first statement is obviously incorrect. Second statement is GM mustard has the genes that allow the plant cross-pollination and hybridization. That is absolutely correct. Third is GM mustard has been developed jointly by the IARI, that is Indian Agricultural Research Institute, and Punjab Agricultural University. Again, this statement is incorrect. The reason is because GM mustard has been developed by the Delhi University, not Punjab University. So obviously the correct option here is D. The second statement is the correct. The fourth question again is related to simple question, location based question has been asked that in which of the following states of India Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary is located. Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary is also popularly called as Pakke Wildlife Sanctuary. So it is a very well known wildlife sanctuary situated in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. If you look at the map of Arunachal Pradesh, here we can see that in the western part of Arunachal Pradesh, nearby Bhutan, there is a river that is coming called as Bhareli River, or also called as Jia Bhareli River, which is a tributary of river Brahmaputra. And somewhere on the bank of Jia Bhareli River, you have the Pakhui Wildlife Sanctuary. The fifth question again is related to the current affairs. Basically, it has been asked about the three water bodies across the earth or in the world which have shrunk immensely or dried up in the recent past due to human activity. So, three water bodies are given: Aral Sea, Black Sea, and Lake Baikal. Which of these have recently dried due to the human activities? So, here the correct answer is Aral Sea. Black Sea, obviously, there is no problem of aridity in the Black Sea areas, and also there is no such human factors that is in play in Black Sea region that can cause its drying up. Black Sea has not lost its area. On the other hand, Aral Sea has dried up to a significant extent. More than 90% of the original water that Aral Sea used to have has been completely dried away. Lake Baikal is also drying sometimes, but it does not have similar kind of shrinking like as in the case of Aral Sea. Lake Baikal has kind of what we can say, sometimes it dries up and sometimes the water volume increases. So it has what we can say is a fluctuation in the water availability. So the correct answer is A, only Aral Sea. If we try to understand the extent of drying that we have witnessed in the Aral Sea, this map clearly captures it. If we look at the 1960, the map from 1960, we can see the water body was so huge, covering the border of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. And gradually, as you can see, the shrinking began. And if you look at the current map of year 2014, we can see only 5 to 10% of the original area is now covered by water. More than 90% of the area has been completely dried up. The main reason why Aral Sea has dried up is because of the cotton cultivation. In the Soviet times, there is two rivers, as you can see from the map here, the Sir River and Amudarya River, that used to drain into the Aral Sea and used to supply water. But in the Soviet time, the Soviet government constructed a series of dams over both these rivers, and the water was diverted in the fields to cultivate cotton. And as a result of this, the supply of water in the Aral Sea stopped. That is the main factor behind its drying. So that is the point mentioned here, due to the human activities. This is very, very important point that we have to remember. The sixth question again is related to India map, where it has been asked that among the given cities, which one lies on a longitude that is closest to that of Delhi? Now we know that longitude is a line that connects North Pole to the South Pole across the earth. So which is the closest longitude to that of Delhi? So to understand that, let us look at the map of India. Now we can see that Delhi is situated somewhere around here, and longitude is a straight line. So we try to draw a straight line via Delhi like this. We can see that it crosses through Bangalore. If you look at any other cities that is mentioned here, such as Hyderabad, Nagpur, and Pune, we can see Hyderabad is situated somewhere here. Pune is situated, Nagpur is situated somewhere here, and Pune is situated very, very far from the longitudinal line that is passing through the Delhi. So the Bangalore is the city that is lying very, very close to the longitude that passes through Delhi. So this is the kind of question that you cannot read or study in any other books. This kind of question only you will be able to answer if you have looked at the map of India more than 50-60 times throughout the journey of your preparation. And that is what UPSC want you to, that is how UPSC want you to prepare. Not just mug up and do the rote learning, but rather look at the map of the India, map of the world, understand the important areas, try to know about the important cities and places across the world and India. The seventh question again is related to the geomorphology, where it has been asked regarding the Earth's magnetic field. The first statement is Earth's magnetic field has reversed every few 100,000 years. Now this statement is obviously a correct statement, because if you look at the polarity of the Earth, we can see that currently the north magnetic pole of Earth is oriented toward the geographical north pole, and the south magnetic pole of Earth is oriented toward the geographical south. So this kind of orientation of the magnetic field of Earth is referred as normal polarity. On the other hand, Earth do not have the same polarity all the time. Currently, we are seeing that North Pole is continuously moving toward east and the South Pole is continuously moving toward west. And thus, few thousand years from now, a time will come when the magnetic poles will flip. That means the South magnetic pole will be oriented toward the geographical North Pole and the North magnetic pole will be oriented toward the geographical South Pole. And when such situation will happen, we call it as a situation of reverse polarity. So this kind of reversal in the polarity from normal to reverse and again from reverse to normal is a very, very natural phenomena that has occurred many times in the history of the Earth. So first statement is absolutely a correct statement. The second statement is that when the earth was created more than 4,000 billion years ago, there was 54% oxygen and no carbon dioxide. This is an absolutely incorrect statement, because when earth was created, at the time of its formation, there was no oxygen in its atmosphere. Oxygen has came on earth in a very later period of time, and at that time, initially, we talk about earth has largely an atmosphere which was made up of lighter gases such as hydrogen and helium. Later on, these gases were stripped away from the Earth's atmosphere, and other gases started to develop in its surroundings. The third statement is, when living organisms originated, they modified the early atmosphere of the Earth. This is absolutely a correct statement, because as we have discussed about the oxygen, it is believed that it was the development of cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. When they originated in the oceans of the earth, they started to take part in the process of photosynthesis, and this photosynthesis has led to what is called in today's terminology as great oxidation event. And the great oxidation event is believed to be responsible for supplying oxygen in the atmosphere of the earth. So the correct option obviously is C, 1 and 3 only. The eighth question is related to agriculture, that with reference to the circumstances in Indian agriculture, the concept of conservation agriculture assumes significance. Now, which of the following fall under conservation agriculture? First, avoiding the monocultural practices, adopting minimum tillage, avoiding the cultivation of plantation crop, using crop residue to cover the soil surface, adopting the spatial and temporal crop sequencing or crop rotation. So here, except the fourth option, using crop residue to cover the soil surface, all 1, 2, 3 and 5 are the correct here. These all come under the definition of conservation agriculture. The next question is again related to what we can call as the world mapping, and here again the regions that has been in news recently was asked, and these regions are located in which of countries of the world. So match the following kind of questions there, similar to what we have discussed in the second question. So which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? Now this is something, this kind of question is very, very favorite of UPSC. Every year at least 1 or 2 questions either from Indian mapping or world mapping you will find in the prelims examination. So these kind of questions you have to prepare, especially with regard to those areas, those regions which has been used for at least past 1, 2 or 3 years. So first is, we talk about Catalonia in Spain. This is absolutely correct. If you look at this map of Spain here, we can see that Catalonia is situated in the northeastern part of Spain, and the reason why it keep coming in news is because Catalonia want to secede from the Spain. They want to create their own country because they believe that their way of life or their cultural heritage, their language, it is very, very different from the Spanish cultural heritage and Spanish language. The second reason that is mentioned here is Crimea. Crimea in Hungary, that is absolutely incorrect. Crimea was in news since 2014, and this year also is in news, and it was a part of Ukraine that has been illegally annexed by the Russia. So Crimea is not part of Hungary, it is part of the Ukraine currently annexed by Russia. Third we talk about is Mindanao. Mindanao in Philippines. Now Mindanao is situated in the southern Philippines, as you can see from the map here, and this was in news because of a severe earthquake that happened in the Mindanao, because it is situated at the junction of 2 oceanic plates. If you look at on the eastern side of Mindanao, we have the Pacific plate, and on the western part of Mindanao, we have the Philippine plate or Australian plate in the south. So due to this, Mindanao is prone to volcanic eruption as well as the earthquakes. The fourth region that is mentioned is Oromia in Nigeria. Now this is again an incorrect statement, because if you look at the map here, Oromia is a region situated in Ethiopia. Oromia also want to secede and want to have their separate country from Ethiopia, and for a long period of time there has been kind of civil war like situation that is going on between the Ethiopian government and the Oromian guerrillas. So here in this particular match, the following only first and third statement is correct. So correct option obviously will be C. The 10th question again is related to Indian geography, where it has been asked that which one of the following that is given in the option is an artificial lake. Again, this is a very, very factual question. However, all these lakes are very well-known lakes, either because they are very famous tourist places or because they are the Ramsar sites in India. So in this particular question, the Kodaikanal that is situated in Tamil Nadu is the only artificial lake. Remaining Kolleru Lake in Andhra Pradesh, that used to be a lagoon, but gradually due to the progression of the Godavari and Krishna delta toward eastward side, now Kolleru has been converted into what we can call a type of lake. Nainital similarly is a lake that has developed in the Himalayas due to the trapping of the river water when it is trying to move through the Himachal ranges. So Nainital is also a natural lake. Renuka again is a natural lake. So Kodaikanal is the correct answer, option A. The 11th question is related to the coral reefs. Again, a very, very interesting and topic that keeps coming in the current affairs, current news because of their role in the atmospheric biodiversity, so oceanic biodiversity. So first statement is that most of the world's coral reefs are in tropical water. This is absolutely correct statement because if you look at the map of the world, we can see this is the map showing the distribution of coral reef where red area represents the major coral reefs. And as you can say, from 30 degrees south to 30-degree north, more than 90% of the coral reefs are situated. And the reason is very, very simple because corals are small microscopic marine organisms that cannot survive in very, very cold waters. The ideal water temperature in which corals can prosper is somewhere between 27 to 28 degrees Celsius, and this water is only available in this particular latitude. So first statement is obviously correct. Second is more than 1/3 of the world's corals are located in the territories of Australia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Now again, if you take a look at this map, we can see here we have India, this is Australia, and this is Philippines. So more than 40% of the world's coral reef is located somewhere within this triangular zone. So second statement is also obviously correct statement. Third is the coral reef hosts far more animal phyla than those hosted by the tropical rainforest. This is absolutely correct. In terms of the animal diversity, coral reef has far more number of phylum as compared to rainforest, and this is the reason why coral reefs are also many times considered or called as the rainforest of the ocean. So the correct option is D, 1, 2, and 3. The 12th question is related to the economic geography, where the question has been asked about the minerals. In India, state government do not have the power to auction non-coal mines. This is incorrect statement. If you remember, when we were discussing about the questions of 2019, we discussed about the major minerals and minor minerals. And we have talked about that as far as the minor minerals are concerned, state government have the power to auction them. And any minerals that is non-coal in nature, but is a minor mineral can be auctioned by the state government. Second is Andhra Pradesh and Jharkhand do not have gold mines. That is incorrect statement. Actually, if you look at the gold mines in Andhra Pradesh, it is in the Anandpur district situated, and in Jharkhand also in the Singhbhum district we have the gold mines. So the second statement is also incorrect. The third statement is Rajasthan has iron ore mine. This is a correct statement because iron ore mine generally, if you look at its distribution in India, it is found in Dharwar and Kaddafa rock system. And if you look at the iron ore in Rajasthan, then the Jaipur district, Bhilwara district, Udaipur district, Sikar district, and Dausa district. These are the 5 districts where you can find the deposits of the iron ore. So obviously the correct option will be D, that is the 3 one. The 13th question is again India map based question where it has been asked about a volcano, that is the Barren Island, which is the only active volcano of India. So the question is about 3 statements. So the first statement says that the Barren Island volcano is an active volcano located in the Indian territory. This is absolutely correct statement. Second is Barren Island lies about 140 km east of Great Nicobar. Now see, if you look at the books, read the books, you will find that it is mentioned that Barren Island is a part of Andaman Nicobar Island. But where exactly it is situated, this only you can know if you have looked and referred to the map of Andaman and Nicobar. So let us try to look at the map of Andaman and Nicobar. Now here, the upper part that you see, this is the Andaman group of islands, and this is the Nicobar group of islands. And this area that you are seeing, this is Great Nicobar. And if you look at the Barren Island, this is the Barren Island. So obviously the statement that Barren Island lies about 140 km east of Great Nicobar is incorrect. Barren Island is lying to the north of East Nicobar, Great Nicobar, and also very, very far from the Great Nicobar. It is lying 140 km east to the Middle Andaman Island. So the second statement is incorrect statement. The third statement that the last time Barren Island volcano erupted was in 1991 and it has remained inactive since then. This is also incorrect statement because it was in year 2015 when we have seen the eruption of the Barren Island volcano. So the correct option here obviously is B, that is 2 The correct option obviously here, talk about the correct statement. The correct option obviously is A. Only A is the correct option. Remaining two, that is the second and third, is the incorrect. Similarly, if you look at the last question that was asked, that was with reference to the agricultural soil, consider the following statements. The high content of organic matter in the soil drastically reduces its water holding capacity. This is incorrect statement, because if you talk about the scientists, soil scientists, they have reported that for every 1% of organic matter content, if it increases in the soil can hold 16,500 gallons of plant available water per acre of soil down to 1 foot deep. So any small changes in the organic matter can have huge implications, as it increases the soil water holding capacity of the soil. So drastic reduction is obviously incorrect statement. Also, if you look at the pattern of the UPSC questions and their answer, any extreme words have to be generally avoided if you are not sure about any option. So here, drastic reduction is something that seems extreme in nature. So by method of elimination also, you could have eliminated this particular statement. Now see, if you are able to eliminate that this first statement is incorrect, even if you are not knowing these two last statements, by elimination you can say that only possible answer, correct answer is B3 only, because 1 is all present in all A, C and D. Anyway, if you talk about the second statement, it says that soil does not play any role in the sulfur cycle. That is incorrect. If you take a look at the sulfur cycle, we can see the decomposition of organic sulfur and its bacterial oxidation, bacterial reduction from sulfur to sulfate and sulfate to sulfur. It happens in the soil itself. So the option that the soil does not play any role in sulfur cycle is incorrect. Third is irrigation over a period of time can contribute to the salinization of some agricultural land. This is absolutely a correct statement, because this is a problem that we are seeing in the northwestern India, especially in the states of Punjab and Haryana, where over irrigation has been practiced over a long period of time, at least since the Green Revolution, that is 1970s. And due to the over irrigation, as a capillary effect takes place, what happens? The injurious salts are transferred with water to the surface of the soil. And as these water evaporate in the summer season, they leave behind all this salt which get encrusted in the soil layer, and that causes and contributes in increasing the salinity of the soil, which in the long period of time can cause reduction in the fertility and overall yield of the agricultural crops. So only third statement is correct one. So the correct option is B, 14 only. So that is all about the question that was asked from geography in year 2018. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.